I can only learn the dark art. Later, within the hidden base, Ningfeng asked quietly, Kabo, tell me, what is your world like? Kun Kabo thought for a moment. Let me think how to describe it. Our world is watched over by 3 deities. Aside from you, Lord God, there is the abode of the dead and the blood frenzy battle. Lord, used to be a paradise, a place where everything was in perfect order. But after your departure, the balance of the world shifted. People abandoned order and began to worship the law of the jungle, where might makes right. The strong seize everything, while the weak are left to struggle for survival at the very bottom. So when I told you I had no desire to rule Blue Star, I was not merely currying favor. I simply do not wish to see Blue Star suffer the same fate as my world. Back at the tavern, the enemies lay scattered across the floor, silent forever. Kun Kabo lowered his head. Apologies. I am afraid I have made a mess of your tavern. No, Mina said urgently. It is I who should be thanking you, but you have killed members of the order. Quick, take your friend and get out of here. I promise I will not tell a soul that you have returned. Ningfeng tilted his head slightly. Was that man someone important? Mina stared at him in disbelief. You do not recognize him? That was Hansen. He was the youngest elite among the 5 holy seats of the abode of the dead. If they discover he has been killed, the entire order will be alerted. By then, it will be far too late for you to escape. Do not panic just yet, Kun Kabo said. First, tell us exactly what happened here. Mina took a shaky breath. A few days ago, the divine power of the abode of the dead suddenly vanished, and his believers mutated into monsters. When normalcy finally returned, the order declared that Lord Omni Mage God was the true culprit behind the catastrophe. Ningfeng's eyes narrowed. It appears the abode of the dead has spread that same lie to his believers in every world. They allied with the followers of the blood frenzy battle lord, Mina continued, and began a massive manhunt for anyone devoted to the Omni Mage God. Anyone who refused to swear allegiance to the order was branded a heretic. Those people were completely innocent. Yet if they dared harbor even the slightest doubt toward the abode of the dead, they faced the order's ruthless persecution. So, Kun Kabo asked softly, you are rescuing people? Yes, Mina nodded. But with so many seeking sanctuary lately, the order was bound to discover us eventually. Blast them all. If Lord Omni Mage God were still here, he would never allow these villains to run wild like this. Kun Kabo and Ningfeng exchanged a glance. Kun Kabo smiled faintly. Mina, actually, the man standing before you is the Lord Omni Mage God you have been longing for. Ningfeng extended his hand. Hello. Mina froze. Her mind went blank. You might not believe this, but... Kun Kabo began. No, Mina cried. I believe you. Everyone knows you were swept away by space-time turbulence, to vanish for so long and yet return alive. Only the supreme power of a god could explain such a miracle. Does this mean we are finally saved? Tears streamed down her face. Of course, Ningfeng said gently. Whatever you need, just say the word. Elsewhere. Has Hansen returned? A voice asked coldly. No, my lord. He was only tasked with rounding up a few strays, the Lord Holy Seat said slowly. Why the long delay? Lord Holy Seat, shall I send someone to investigate? We are at a critical junction. I cannot afford any surprises. Light flared. Space twisted. They teleported. The Lord Holy Seat staggered, sweat breaking out on his brow. Huh? What is going on? The Red Scale Tavern. It has vanished? Within the secret realm, blood-packed, Count Markov descended from the sky and landed inside his study. He slammed a hand onto the desk, his expression dark. Blasted. To think they would force me, a noble vampire lord, to dispose of corpses, and even help them clean the tavern. He pinched the bridge of his nose, clearly irritated. But I truly never imagined that the tavern would actually turn out to be. High above the clouds, a colossal red dragon soared through the sky. The Red Scale Tavern rested firmly upon its broad back, glowing faintly with ancient runes. Kun Kabo stared in awe, panting lightly. Ya huff. No wonder it is called the Red Scale Tavern. To think a red dragon was actually lying dormant beneath the establishment. Inside the tavern, Lord God, please have a taste of my cooking, Mina said nervously yet eagerly. Ningfeng glanced at the dishes laid out before him. He took a large bite. Delicious. Mina's eyes lit up. I am so happy you enjoy it. Ningfeng set down his chopsticks and asked calmly. Mina, where exactly did you obtain this tavern? My master left it to me, she replied. I knew he had installed a summoning array here, but my abilities were lacking. I simply could not activate it. Ningfeng's gaze sharpened slightly. Was your master's name Shadow Abyss? Mina shook her head apologetically. Ah, I am sorry. Master never actually told me his true name. Truth be told, Master is merely a title I use out of respect. He taught me a great deal. But he never had any intention of formally accepting me as a disciple. Perhaps I was simply too untalented. Hanyin spoke softly, her expression thoughtful. It appears this truly is the handiwork of that fellow, Shadow Abyss. Shadow Abyss was indeed one of your kinsfolk. His entire clan was slaughtered during the war. To exact his revenge, he resolved to wield forbidden abyss magic. Because he immersed himself too deeply in abyss magic, his personality warped. He nearly lost all control. Fortunately, he encountered you, Lord God, during your accidental descent to the lower realm. That encounter alone prevented him from succumbing completely to the darkness. Shadow Abyss possessed extraordinary aptitude. By studying diligently at your side, he eventually mastered abyss magic. Once his vengeance was fulfilled, he renounced the use of magic and lived in seclusion as a scholar. Ningfeng asked quietly, was Shadow Abyss originally from this world? Hanyin hesitated. That, we are not entirely certain. He rarely spoke of his past. Ningfeng turned back to Mina. So, where has your master gone now? I do not know, she said softly. One morning I awoke, and master had simply vanished. He did not leave behind even a single message. Ningfeng fell silent, deep in thought. After a moment he asked, so, where are we heading now? Mina straightened. I am taking you to our secret stronghold. A short while later, Ningfeng frowned slightly. I never expected to encounter so much space-time turbulence along the way. Kunkabo nodded grimly. It was precisely this sort of anomaly that swept me away during my last mission. Why establish a secret stronghold in such a dangerous location? Ningfeng asked. Kunkabo answered. Ever since our world suffered the secret realm invasion, monsters have overrun the land. The few remaining sanctuaries were seized by the strong, who established exclusive safe zones for themselves, Mina added quietly. To evade their prying eyes, Master deliberately built our stronghold here. The only ones who remain with us are the downtrodden, people who have been left with no path forward. Suddenly, a deafening roar echoed outside. Ningfeng's eyes narrowed. What is that sound? Mina's face paled. Oh no, it is a sudden monster tide. A massive swarm of monsters is pouring out of the space-time turbulence. Dark shapes filled the sky as countless flying monsters surged forward. Blast it, Mina muttered. They are flying-type monsters, notoriously difficult to deal with. Kunkabo raised his voice. Do not be afraid. The Lord God is here, the monsters shrieked as they gave chase. The red dragon roared and surged forward, accelerating sharply. Its presence alone caused the monsters to recoil. Some trembled mid-air, others scattered in panic. Mina stared in disbelief. The monsters all around us are trembling in fear. Kunkabo laughed loudly. Ha ha ha! It turns out that to them, our red dragon is a terrifying strong one as well. Ningfeng reached out and patted the dragon's scales. Good boy. Excellent work. The red dragon let out a proud howl. Oh! Thank you so much for watching. That's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to help me grow my channel. Your support means the world to me. Don't forget to leave a comment below. I love hearing from you. Let's keep the conversation going and get those analytics buzzing. Until next time, take care.